What's going on, everybody? So, as I mentioned with last week, the new schedule Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you get a video from me. So, we're sticking to that. I've been sticking to that so far. So, you know, should definitely give me a hand for that. I'm just kidding. But with the NFL season so close, the next few videos are going to be kind of NFL focused. The last video I did the quarterback tier list, which obviously you should check that out after this video. But now I'm going to actually do my top 10 rankings for the quarterback position going into next season. So, once again, this is sitting here right now, how I feel like these quarterbacks will play next season. This is my list. No, not influenced by anybody or any website or anything like that. These are the top 10 according to me. So obviously that means down in the comment section, you let me know if you agree or you disagree. You already know how it works. So let's get into this. Let's pull up the old side by side. There you go, top 10 quarterbacks. Some of these might surprise you. I'm going to put that out there already. You may be surprised by who I put on this list. So obviously I start from the bottom. Number 10, I've got Tua. Look, for Tua, it's all about his health. If he stays healthy, I think the Dolphins will be a really good side, especially offensively, because with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill as your wide receiver duo, they have the multi-back system. Jeff Wilson, Mostert, was Devin a chain that they drafted. The only thing that can really hamper the Dolphins from, possibly winning the division or whatever, is the health of this man. Skylar Thompson's the backup. We saw in the playoff game that he could play decent, but they're just a much better team when Tua's upright, back there throwing the ball around. So I got Tua as my number 10. So go to 9. Kirk Cousins. Now, some of you may look at this and be like, there's no way Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback. I feel like if you look at his actual body of work, the stats he seems to put up year in and year out, statistically, he kind of is. He's a guy who will throw for like 4,500 yards. Plus, with the addition of Jordan Addison, along with Jefferson, it's the first full season of T.J. Hawkinson. Also, couple that with the loss of Dalvin Cook, we might see Kirk Cousins throwing the ball a little bit more this year. And I think because of that, he's probably in line to put up some really good numbers. Yes, I know the primetime game issue that he has. I get that. But like I said, looking at his stats last season, over 4,500 yards passing, touchdown interception ratio 2-1, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, rating of 92.5. So he's not as bad as people are making him out to be. For that reason, I have him at number 9 going into next season. Obviously, if he struggles, he would tumble a little bit. Because at the end, I'll let you know kind of some of the quarterbacks I have my eye on that are just outside of my top 10. Let's go ahead and look at 8. Aaron Rodgers. Some of you, once again, may say this is too low for Aaron Rodgers. Here's my way of thinking. Does he put up numbers? Is he a great passer of the ball? Yes. But at his age, where he's pushing 40 at this point, the question marks that are on the offensive line in New York, he's not as mobile as he once was when he was younger. I could see some struggles. Now, all the pieces are definitely around him with Um, Garrett Wilson. They brought over Lazard. So they have pieces there. My thing is, the AFC is a much different beast than the NFC. I feel like defenses a little better in the AFC, especially the AFC East. Got some really good defenses you're going to go up against. So I think there will be moments of struggle with Aaron Rodgers. Do I think the Jets are some like 5-6 win team? No. I'm just not one of those who thinks that, all the stuff that happened in Green Bay was solely on everybody else other than Aaron Rodgers. I feel like he needs to take some responsibility for the lack of success after the one Super Bowl win. So New York brings its own challenges as well with media pressure that's obviously ratcheted up based off of Green Bay. And I'm just interested to see how Rodgers navigates this season in New York. For me, he's number 8, which I guess matches his jersey number. 7, I got Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence, I feel like there's a kind of 2 schools of thought with him. Some might say he should be a little bit higher, and then there's going to be the select that's going to say, maybe I have him even too high. I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence. I'm projecting him to have, if not a similar season to last year, possibly even improving. They're adding Calvin Ridley into the mix. I think Calvin Ridley is going to be a big addition for them because Ridley was a great wide receiver with the Falcons. We know the gambling thing happened or whatever. He seems to look good in camp. So I think now you're pairing him with Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Travis Etienne in the backfield. I think Trevor Lawrence has another great season. I'm expecting more success from the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. So I think for me, Trevor Lawrence being ahead of Aaron Rodgers makes sense, as well as Tua and Kirk Cousins. But Trevor Lawrence is definitely an interesting player because, like I said, some will think we're overrating him right now, and some will say maybe not. Maybe some of you are underrating him. So I think 7 is a perfect spot for Trevor Lawrence. Once again, you let me know down in the comment section. 6, I got Josh Allen. I'm pretty sure this one's probably going to be a conversation starter. Because I feel like talent-wise, with the arm strength, the ability to run, he's probably should be better than the sixth best quarterback. The reason why I have him down at 6 is we've seen some regression since Dayball left. This offseason, the kind of friction between he and Stephon Diggs, I don't think that's something to take lightly. I feel like with Buffalo, if the season does not start well, there could be some rumblings, and then we could see like an all-out locker split with Diggs and Allen. Not saying it's going to happen, but I feel like we've seen situations like this in sports where there's like a little bit of smoke in the offseason between a couple of players, which then turns into like some raging fire that can fracture the culture and really sink a season. So because of that, I have Josh Allen at 6, but he's another guy who obviously could move up on this list just based off of the talent that he has. Now, the interceptions need to come down. That's been one of my biggest things since Daboll's left. It seems like Josh Allen takes more chances now, and because of that, he gets himself into trouble unnecessarily. So I'm definitely going to be watching and seeing what Josh Allen can do this year. And for Stephon Diggs, this could be a make or break season for him in Buffalo. Because if he has frustrations like he did at the end of last season, Maybe he tries to get up out of Buffalo. So I got Josh Allen at 6. 5. I got Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's another guy where you're going to get two schools of thought on him. Some will look at 5 and say that's way too high. And then others will say, might be about right. Because if you look at Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, he was one of the best in the league. Just playing on a terrible team, terrible situation. So now he's in Cleveland, where there are pieces around him. Nick Chubb, the wide receiver group, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones. You got David Njoku as your tight end. I think the formula is there for Cleveland to have a really good season. The division is going to be tough, I know. The AFC, once again, in general, is just going to be tougher. But I think Deshaun Watson is going to remind some people just how good he is. I'm expecting to see the guy who can throw the ball, make all the throws, be a threat in the running, scrambling game, and just really bring some excitement to Cleveland. Once again, he's another guy where if we see more of the rust we saw at the end of last season, then yeah, he's going to tumble. But I think we're going to see, even if it's like 75-80% of what he was in Houston, trust me, he's the top 5 quarterback in this league today. All right, let's keep it going. So far, you have to let me know what you think of this list down in the comment section. 4, I got Lamar Jackson. Now, I kind of think whether it's here on my channel, over on Sports Empire Network, where I am a contributor, or JJL Sports Talk, I think some people may believe that I'm kind of a Lamar Jackson hater. In reality, I just keep it real about him. So, for me, it's a situation where Lamar has areas of his game where he needs to improve, which is why I'm one of those who doesn't automatically vault him as like some top 3. Some people think he might be second best quarterback in the league. They're probably a Ravens fan, but I get it. Talent-wise, he's kind of like Josh Allen. The ability is there. There's just some holes in his game. Bringing in Odell Beckham Jr., Odell's a guy who plays outside the numbers. Yes, he can, catch a slant and all that, but he loves to be outside the numbers, loves to go deep downfield. Want to see if that connection is as lethal as it could be. With Lamar Jackson, we know he's more comfortable throwing middle of the field. So, I guess along with that, he struggles throwing the ball outside the numbers. If Odell's going to live outside the numbers, he better pick up on that attribute real quickly. Because you don't want to make Odell Beckham your prize signing in the offseason and your former MVP quarterback can't get on the ball. So for Lamar Jackson, this is going to be a big season for him. He just got paid, which brings new expectations on him. Let's see if he can live up to them. One of them is staying healthy relatively most of the season and actually being there at the end for a playoff run. But with all that, I'm saying I got him at number 4. And to be honest with you, with the way this list is going, quarterback play in the league right now, it's kind of tough to differentiate between 4 and like 7 or 8, to be honest with you. I just had Lamar here for, once again, you let me know in the comment section whether you think I'm crazy or not. But I definitely think these next 3 are better than him. And there should be no argument there. So 3, got Jalen Hurts. Philadelphia is obviously building something. Jalen Hurts is a big reason for it. No reason to really expect it to not continue this year. So I think number 3 is the perfect spot for him. And I have no questions about it. He's a guy who's a threat in the RPO of running the ball or throwing it. He's got Devonta Smith. He's got A.J. Brown as weapons on the outside. You got Dallas Goedert, who might actually be one of the more under the radar great tight ends in this league. Because most people think of Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews, I guess. Goddard is pretty good. Just saying. The run game, no Miles Sanders this year, but they have a nice committee of running backs that Gainwell, Penny, that should fit into the Philadelphia system. It's a division that they'll probably win again. They're in Super Bowl contention because the NFC is probably improved this year, but there's still some question marks with some of these teams in the NFC. Once again, that's another episode where I'll talk about my predictions for playoff teams and everything. But I think Jalen Hurts, who was in the MVP conversation last year, will probably be right back in it this year. And that's why I have him at number 3. I think he has another good season. It's just I think there's 2 quarterbacks that are clearly better than him right now, and we'll get into those right now. So number 2, it's Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, whatever you want to call him, but I mean he's a quick riser. He has Cincinnati in a position to possibly win the Super Bowl. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They came up short. Not last year, sorry, the year before. They were in the Super Bowl, came up short. But if you're going to tell me that they're bringing back Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Mixon, that's a pretty good offense. I'm expecting this offense to really carry this team because defensively they did lose, Jesse Bates, which I thought was a big loss for them. And defensively, Cincinnati has never been probably elite. The defense has always been good enough to complement this offense. I think we're going to see that again this year. I think Burrow puts up big numbers. I think those wide receivers put up big numbers. And Joe Burrow continues on the path to possibly bringing a Super Bowl win to the city of Cincinnati. I've got him at number 2 because it's kind of obvious who's at number 1. It's Mac Jones. I'm kidding. Patrick Mahomes. Do I need to say anything? He's coming off a Super Bowl win. Did it last year where a lot of people were questioning his wide receiver targets. They still found a way to get it done. He still has Travis Kelce, who's obviously going to be the number 1 option. There's some, talk about some of the young guys who might take a step up at the wide receiver group. Sky Moore, Justin Ross. It's going to continue to look different, it seems like, year in and year out. But as long as you have the constant of Mahomes, Kelce, I guess Andy Reid to a lesser extent, Mahomes' production shouldn't slip. I guess maybe with Bieniemy gone, do we see something different? I doubt it because I feel like, Bieniemy and Reid, it was the collective group between those two in forming the system. So yes, you remove Bieniemy, but Reid is still there. I think we're going to see more of the same. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to continue to sit atop the mountain as the best quarterback in the league right now. So there you have it. My top 10. I'm sure, like I said, some of you will have questions about it. That's fine. But it's my list. How I see it. So I did say there's a couple of quarterbacks that I have outside the top 10 that, were in somewhat consideration to be in the 10. So I'll mention them really quickly. Derek Carr, he leaves the dysfunction of the Raiders, now with the Saints. I think he could have a good season this year with Chris Olave. Michael Thomas, if he decides to, actually stay on the field. Kamara, once he comes back from the suspension, factors into the passing game as well. And then looking at that division, big question marks with the other three teams. I think Carr could put together a pretty decent season. Next one would be Geno Smith, who's a guy that, he's really starting to form an interesting narrative and kind of resurrecting his career. The struggles that were there with the Jets and and all that, it could have tanked his career. Let's be honest, but he's one of those guys that obviously seemed like it just had to get him in the right system with the right coach, and you're seeing his potential right now. I mean, at this point, it's kind of past potential, but you're seeing his, I guess, true skill come through. He has DK Metcalf. He has Tyler Lockett. Now you throw in JSN. They have Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, running back position. I think Geno Smith has another good season like last year and really lets people know that, yes, last season was a good year, but he's also capable of now being that quarterback going forward. I think for Seattle, that's going to be important. They're going to need a duplicate season from Geno Smith because looking at San Francisco in that division, there are some question marks starting to come up about them, especially with Brock Purdy being cemented as number one. How is he going to look now with the book kind of out on him and teams know what to expect from him? Can he duplicate his performance? If the Niners slip in any way, Seattle's going to be right there to take over. Once again, another episode where I do playoff predictions and everything like that, but I'm just saying Seattle's going to be a contender in that division. No question about it. The other guy, Russell Wilson. Look, a lot of people think Russell Wilson's cooked. He's done based off of last year. But you're exiting Nathaniel Hackett, inserting Sean Payton. There has to be some raise in his level of play. And I think we'll see a much better Russell Wilson this season compared to last season. And because of that, I think he's going to be a fringe top 10 guy. But like I said, the quarterback position in the NFL right now, like once you get past probably Mahomes and Burrow, there are several names in there. You could put them in any way you want to, and I could definitely listen to the argument. But yeah, like I said, my top 10 list, if you have a problem with it, put it down in the comment section. Like I'm telling you, put it down there. We'll interact, and let's have some fun with this. So like I said, basically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, videos will come out. And from here to the start of the season, they're probably going to be NFL focused unless something really major happens in one of the other sports. Then I'll talk about that. But like I said, got playoff predictions coming up. Probably MVP predictions. Just all kinds of stuff. It's the football preview mode right now for Chompin at the Bit. And hopefully you tune in for all these videos because got some good content coming your way. Especially once the season starts, the videos are gonna be fire. So if you're new to the channel, definitely appreciate you tuning in. And if you're so inclined to, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Or follow me on Facebook. All the socials will come up. So make sure you definitely follow me on those. Then also, as I'm getting more involved with the gaming videos, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of cross-section of those of you who came to the channel from the gaming videos that are now getting into the podcast with me. And same way the other way. If you just have been tuned into the podcast and want to kind of see my gaming content, make sure you follow me over on Twitch. We have a FIFA series going right now. A lot of fun. And it's just going to continue. The EA Sports FC, you'll see Madden on there. When the new 2K comes out, probably get some of that on there. Plus some non-sports games. Kind of coming with some ideas of what to do with that, but Make sure you check me out over there as well. So yeah, that's all I got for you. So with that, I will say, be safe out there. God bless, and I'll catch you on the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Also, if you have time to, I will be over on Sports Empire Network tonight, 6:30 p.m. for cheap seats. Make sure you check me out there as well. So with that, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out, and I'll see you later. Be good.